Keep your radio dial right here. You're locked into the hottest news station on the planet. Hot 702.5 in FM sound. Blazing today's hip hop, R&B, and pop music. Keeping your radio on fire. Bringing you the hottest, realest, riskiest talk shows live 24/7 on hot7025fm.com.
What's up? Hey, Hot 702.5 FM, all my jokers and all our listeners. Welcome to Laugh Therapy.
What We got to get our sound effects back.
We got to get it all together, y'all. I'm so excited. Y'all know I'm excited every week. I'm excited to talk to y'all every week. I'm excited to talk about the different subjects. I feel like we did the narcissist conversation for 3 weeks, and I'm still super proud of you, Jeannie.
Yeah.
We hope you're going strong, love. We hope you are going strong, surviving your narcissist. Escaping your narcissist. And of course, sending lots of love to the ladies who wrote in last week about their particular situations. We do hope that you guys find the strength to get exactly what it is that you deserve. For those of you who are new to this channel or new to this station,
Hey.
I am your host, Jeaux King, and of course, I have my beautiful co-host with me,
JD, aka Sunshine.
Y'all can follow me at King Me Comedy on all social media platforms, including YouTube. I am trying to grow that platform. And you already said yours when you said your name, didn't you?
JSD Sunshine 4.
Yes, JSD Sunshine 4, the number 4 on Instagram, guys. Make sure to give us a like and a follow. We're posting a lot more content this year, so we're really excited about that. Today's discussion is one that I feel is always overdue. I always feel like this discussion is overdue because it changes the way that microaggressions look. May change from time to time, but the fact that they exist in this weird and odd passive aggressive existence is very much so something that agitates me because it's no longer subtle, and I feel like being aware that you're aware that you're doing it now. Like, I don't feel like there's a way for you to do it and not know that you're doing it anymore. So we're going to just discuss microaggressions.
You're going to have to discuss that.
Yeah. We are going to discuss microaggressions today and break it on down for y'all. We'll talk about what we've experienced, if we have any of our own, things of that nature. So we're going to go ahead and get into it. I think we're going to start by defining microaggressions, the actual definition, and then we'll give our own. The definition says microaggressions are subtle, often unintentional behaviors or comments that convey negative stereotypes or demean individuals based on their race, gender, ethnicity, or other characteristics. These actions can contribute to a hostile or unwelcoming environment. Would you agree or disagree with that?
I would agree, but I would also add, I guess I can't think of the right term for it, but how's your little business going? Mm-hmm. That's a microaggression, y'all, if you ain't know that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's a reel of Kelly Rowland on an interview saying no one should ever little anybody's thing.
Bow.
You should never little, because you don't know what they had to go through to reach that thing. And it may be little or small to you. And in most cases, when you say little, it's not little or small to you. You're trying to make it little or small to minimize their accomplishment.
So yes, I would extend it to accomplishments or achievements as well.
I would agree. I agree with what was stated. I personally don't think that they're subtle anymore, though. I think that they used to be. I think that now they're not as subtle as they used to be. And the only reason I think that they were considered subtle then is because people didn't have the right to stand up for themselves. It started off as subtle things that maybe white women could say in the workplace that black women couldn't say anything. You just had to take it because you didn't want to lose your damn job, right? Or something that, another race would say to us, and we just kind of had to take it. I feel like they stopped being so subtle and started getting a little bit more bold as we got a little bit more bold and started calling it out.
I would agree with that. But also at this point in time, we've had all kinds of DEI trainings and all kinds of education on this subject. So if you still are throwing microaggressions at this point, you know that you're doing it.
I
and it's on purpose.
And I feel like it's just a passive aggressive way to try and shoot shots at people that you know that you can't top or beat in any other aspect in life. So you're purposefully going out of your way to try and make them, to minimize either their accomplishment, their character, their, brilliance or beauty. You are going out of your way. And then you try to paint it as though you are being sarcastic or it's a joke or somebody can't. I hate when people do that, especially now.
Yeah, don't play with my top like that.
Yeah.
Don't play with my top like that.
Don't gaslight me because your little aggression didn't work, bro.
It just brings me back to y'all know how much I love living single. It brings me back to that episode where they went to the doctor's ceremony. He was getting the Nummy Award, and she was like, "Yes, I'm sure she needs every copy for the hood."
Yeah,
beat your ass
in this motherfucking party, okay? I'll show you hood.
I'm sorry, Mama, if you listening, and if you got kids in the room with y'all, I apologize, but I meant that.
Your whole ass and nothing but your ass. So help me God.
Your bald headed ass, because she was bald headed. All right. So we're going to get started.
Okay.
Tell me, what was a microaggression that you have used in the past? Maybe you might not have realized it was a microaggression, but you thought back on it and was like, oh, damn, I did say that.
I'm sure there have been a lot of times where I've used, because I was very sarcastic coming up. So I may not have thought of it as a microaggression, but I would have thought of it as me being sarcastic.
Sarcasm is the language of fire signs.
Yeah. So I'm sure there have been plenty of times where I've made someone kind of feel small, even though, like, in my head I was big. I see you got your little job. You got your little job now. Something like that. Oh, she done got her little job and now she don't know that. Something like that. I've done stuff like that. I might have
done that last week.
Right. I'm like, something like that. You done got you something like that was real heavy.
Yeah, I'm good for that. Niggas done got themselves a little money and Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. She done got her face did, got her makeup on. But to me, it was me bigging you up. Like, it was just...
Still be humble. I'm still trying to tell you to be humble. But is that that's a microaggression, though, right?
It can be considered, yeah. Because you could have just said they look nice.
Yeah.
Or they did good, or congratulations on your job, and you chose to, do it the way that we do it. Shit.
For me, I'm a step out on a limb and say that I used to use microaggressions against white people. Talking about their credit score. They was born with a 700 credit score.
Right. Your silver spoon. You don't understand what the fuck I'm going through.
You have no idea my struggles. My mama put my light bill in my name when I was 6.
I wonder because
now I can't get a car. Goddammit.
So recently, I've started a content group, and with Essence and Haley, and they had guest spots at a comedy show just on Tuesday, and me and Essence kept trying to drop hints to Haley that this particular comedy show that she was coming to was black. Right? We're like, it's black, like it's black as fuck.
Black because I'm black. Y'all.
Yeah, we're like every person in the audience will likely be black, sis. And she was like, okay, like I've done black guys before. We're like, no.
These are niggas, my bad.
Like we were like we didn't know, so that probably could have been seen as a microaggression too, as we were telling her, like, these ain't regular motherfucking people you about to be telling jokes to.
But if you can make these niggas laugh,
right, be funny, because they gonna let you know if you're not funny. They just gonna look at you. It's kind of what we were trying to be helpful, but I could see how that could come across as a microaggression too, because we didn't do that to any of the other new black comics that were coming to go on stage. We weren't like, oh, this is gonna be a black. But for her, being blonde haired, blue eyed, all just the way she is, we were like, sis.
Haley is bippity boppity.
She is.
It's great energy though.
It's
good energy. So yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What was a microaggression used against you?
Ooh. Oh, in the military.
Oh God, this finna be fucked up.
When I was in the military, I had one of my sergeants tell me that if I wanted a family, why did I join the military? Because they were getting ready to deploy, and I found out that I was pregnant, and he was pissed that I was pregnant. I don't know why.
You was his best soldier.
Maybe. I have no idea what that man was going through, but he was mad as fuck that I was pregnant, and I was like, sir, this ain't got nothing to do with you. Like, that's all I was thinking. I was like, it ain't yours. Like, what you meant? I don't understand.
I'm not asking you for child support.
Right. understand. I'm home married. Like, he was way old. He was like in his 50s, and I was like 20 years old, y'all. So I didn't understand why this man was so upset that I was pregnant, but he was mad that I was pregnant, and because I was pregnant, it meant that I wasn't going to be able to deploy. I don't know if he had a quota to meet or what, but he was super rude about it. He was a complete asshole about it, and basically made me feel bad for being a woman. Like, this is why women, should think about stuff like that before they join the military. What? Should think about the fact that we have reproductive organs, bitch? Why don't men have to think about the fact that they're reproducing? Like, he knew what he was doing just like I knew what the fuck I was doing, sir. And why is that mean you don't get like, that's just kind of how where I was at with it. But that was definitely
I don't even know if that was micro. That might have been macro.
Yeah, it was aggressive. You feel me? But it would be a lot of small stuff like that when I was in the military. It would be just dismissive of the women, or you would be overlooked for promotions. We had to work a lot harder as Black women to get our promotions. The way that we were expected to accept that they were speaking to us some type of way. I remember I pissed one of my drill sergeants off because he was purposefully trying to gaslight me, and I didn't care. And it's not that I didn't care about the military or that I didn't care about what it is he was saying. Is that I literally did not care about that man. And he could tell.
You're going to make that known.
Yes. And he could tell because my energy is very much so felt. So when other drill sergeants or when I would speak to me, you could tell I was in tune and I was listening to what they were saying. And then he would say something and my whole face would change. And I was like, that. Why he was so, I did not like that man and he did not like me. And we both made it very clear we did not like each other. So why are you even fucking talking to me is kind of how I felt. And he wasn't my drill sergeant. I was platoon number 2 and he was drill sergeant of platoon 4. Why are you over here, sir? why are you here? It's kind of
no, but if you're going to use that saying, you got to say it like her.
Oh, why is you here? My Jocelyn, I can't get that accent together. But that's how he finally came to me by the end of basic and was like, Parks, do you care about anything? And I ended up being in front leaning rest position for a long time because my response was not the appropriate response. But I was like, I actually care about a lot of things, Drill Sergeant. I think you're just upset that you're not one of them. And whoop, that wasn't the right response. That was not the right response.
If I was in your platoon, I'd have just threw my hands up.
My platoon would just get in front leaning rest position when they knew that it was going to be something off with me. They would just start getting down like, oh, we in trouble. Parks getting ready to fuck this up. We in trouble. I said what was on my mind. I don't know how people didn't know I was autistic.
You should be the spokesperson for autism.
I should. Somebody call the peoples. I don't know how to do it. Call the people.
Oh, you gotta do some content. I'm autistic.
Yeah.
So of course.
Yeah, I should.
I can't listen to you for longer than 20 seconds.
Right. I give myself a little credit, maybe about 3 minutes, and you got to get to the fucking point though. Like,
nah, I didn't see you zone out on me in about 42 seconds.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
I will clock straight out of a conversation, y'all. And come back like, you was talking to me.
Just glazed over, y'all. Just glazed over.
Yeah, I left. What about you? What are some microaggressions that have been used against you?
Back when I was in college, I went to a PWI, predominantly white institution, and I was defending my thesis. And, after you get done, they give you all of their thoughts and comments and stuff. And one of the first things somebody said was, "You're so well spoken." Y'all,
I've gotten that all my life.
We hate that. We hate that. And I almost did that once because, I do casting for a casting company in LA. And sometimes when I'm making notes on people, the quickest way to say that somebody speaks well is well spoken. And I'm like, damn, should I put that? Can I phrase this another way? And they sitting here talking and I'm trying to figure out how to phrase it because I know it's something about it when people say that about Black people, like we can't speak well. And then obviously the hair stuff. Look, it's 2024, and if people of other ethnicities are still touching your hair or asking to touch your hair, just punch them in the face. Nah, I'm not saying that. I'm not bailing nobody out. But
I'm just real rude with my no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not an exhibit at the zoo.
And very quick. No, you cannot pet me.
Yeah, you cannot touch my hair.
And usually it's, oh, and they go back to because no, you cannot pet me.
Unless you are another person of color and you're thinking about starting locks, that is the only time. And sometimes I don't know you like that, so no. But yeah, so those are some of the ones that were against me.
How do you
Look. Here go Brian.
I just want to rib you, boo.
I hate you, but I'm glad you're listening. Hey, B.
My Aunt Shotzi says she does that as well. Just forget you're there. I think there are quite a few undiagnosed autistic people in our family, Aunt Shotzi.
we the spectrum houses.
I do. I think there are quite a few of us that are either autistic or have bipolar disorder. I just happen to have both. God was like, give it to her.
Sprinkle me, baby. Go ahead, baby. Sprinkle
and
me,
then
baby.
he was fresh out of patience, and he was like, I just add a little to the height. It's all right. Just add the rest to the height.
Is that what it
That's
is?
what happened. He's like, we fresh out of patience, but add some height and some fight to it. and thus the Powerpuff Girl was born. I don't know what to tell you. That's what happened.
Oh man. Okay. So how can you effectively respond to microaggression?
With a macroaggression,
The key word here was effectively.
it was quite effective for me. They quit being microaggressive immediately. They probably because they feared for their teeth.
We don't fight anymore. It's 2024.
That's right. It's been 5 years. I've done so.
No, it's 2024. Has it been 6?
Nope. It's been 5 because
Okay.
Legacy is 6. He was 1. Yeah.
Oh, see, I'm trying to add time
I
on to
know.
you. I'm trying to
you.
give you the credit.
We manifesting that 6th year, but don't play with me. Okay.
Okay, effectively respond.
I think just making sure that you know your shit. But because most of the time when somebody is doing a microaggression, they're trying to downplay an accomplishment. So with making sure that you meet that microaggression with the confidence and you clarify exactly what it is that you do and without explaining. Like, you don't have to explain yourself, but clarifying that it's not a small thing, right? So, like say, like I just opened for a comedian here and another comic who has opened for some names. I've opened for some names. This comedian is a name, but I guess he was considered more Black famous than just a celebrity. And one of the comedians made a comment about that. Like, oh yeah, I didn't even know who that was, but congratulations or whatever. Kind of,
Yeah, why is
situation
that
like
even necessary? That's the part about microaggressions is they're not necessary.
Yeah, you just added that in there to take away from the fact that I was telling someone that I was excited that I got to open for him, right? But the thing is, I got that call and you did not. For you to claim that you are right, that you are this type of comedian and you are blah, 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 then why didn't they call you? You feel me? Because I didn't shit on any of the people that you listed that you've opened for that I have no idea who they are. I didn't try to shit on you. I had no reason to because I'm not in competition with you. I'm not competing with you. I'm proud of you.
There's space for everybody.
Right. So the way that I responded to it is I ignored that person that was talking to me and continued explaining his qualifications. So I looked at that person and I was like, oh, really? You don't know? Oh, you don't watch Wild 'N Out? Which she does. And all of us knew. And she was, oh, yeah. And I was like, yeah, he's done Wild 'N Out, and I started listening to his accolades. He recently just had a Netflix movie. He's got this many specials.
Did you give it a shoulder shrug too?
I tried not to. I probably was. My shoulder was probably popping because y'all already know when I get a little attitude.
Yeah, when we get a little attitude, the shoulder get to popping. So when we be arguing, both of our shoulders be.
Because why is that even necessary? Because why is that even why is my shoulder I got over here? But yeah, so that's how I typically combat microaggressions. I combat them with facts because what you just stated was a hater ass statement, which is not a fact. I combat it with phenomenological facts.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I might adopt that. Mine is just setting a hard boundary. So like I've heard someone say, "Oh, she's pretty for a Black girl. She's just pretty." She's just pretty. That's Period.
So gorgeous human over there.
Yeah. Yeah. It's so unnecessary to say the rest.
But also, with that being said, I feel like when it is a pretty black girl, like a younger girl, I'm quick to point out that she's black too, as a black woman. Like, I'll be like, hi, gorgeous black girl. Yes,
but that is
magic. It's to us, it is empowerment.
Yes.
But I can see from the outside looking in how you can be like, okay, now if I said that's a pretty black girl, it would be like, and like, why can't I just say pretty black girl? She is a pretty black girl. If it's a pretty white girl, I can see how they, in their mind, would be like, well, what did I do?
Yeah, because we wouldn't say, oh, she pretty white. She a pretty white girl.
Right. We wouldn't do that. That's why, because you're not a part of the community.
Wait, would we?
Pretty little white girl. No, we wouldn't.
Nah, we wouldn't do that. We wouldn't do that.
She's cute. That would just be it. Oh, she's so pretty. And then we will move on. So, yeah.
That's very true. Okay. So, yeah, I just cut it off and let them know how they should say the statement. So, therefore, they know moving forward how they should say statements. And that's the thing about microaggressions is sometimes they're unconscious. They don't even realize that they're doing it. And so it's not intentional. But we are going to get into that in just a second as well. Are there specific industries or environments where microaggressions are more prevalent?
I don't think I can answer that factually because I've only been a part of certain industries, right? As far as the industries that I have been a part of, I've been in the military and definitely 100% microaggressions, not just with race, but with your gender, with your religion.
Oh yeah, that for a girl shit.
So not just with race and your gender, but with your religion and your family dynamics, very much so. A lot of microaggressions there because they're nosy as shit. Military feels like because you are a part of the military, they deserve to know everything. Aspect of everything that's going on. And no, this is still a job. You feel me? Like I still got to go home and deal with my shit that ain't got shit to do with your shit. And then I come in here and I do the shit that you tell me to do, bro. The two do not have to, mix. So yes, definitely in that. I would say in comedy, I haven't personally injured many. I don't think. I kind of came in hot in comedy. Like, no shit, not to like tap myself on the shoulder or anything, not to boost myself or hype myself up, but I kind of came in hot. And surprisingly, the first person who embraced me and really took me in like that and was like, damn, you're good, was a white male comic.
And he's been on the show. We love Butch. So, yeah.
I was actually referring to Casper, but...
Casper was on the show?
No.
Where was I?
At Wise Guys for my very first show.
I thought
Casper was the first person to speak to me. He was the first person to encourage me. He was the first person to tell me I needed to continue doing it. He gave me advice before I went on stage, and he told me how to get booked when I walked off the stage.
You right. That's that. I completely forgot.
Shout
that was
out,
so long. It feels like so
Casper
long
the
ago.
Comedian. Yeah, it does. Shout out Casper the comedian.
Shout out
the first
Casper.
person who it really embraced me and was like, "Yo, you're good." Like, "Oh my god, yeah, you're gonna go far into that." Was Casper the comedian. But yes, shout out to Butch Bradley. He is amazing as well. Yeah. So I didn't run into too many microaggressions in comedy until I started getting on the club stages. That's when I started. Remember, I got my first club and I told you I went to Wise Guys and like nobody would fuck with me and I didn't know what was going on. You remember?
Oh, you was heartbroken, honey. She was heartbroken.
I thought I had friends at Wise Guys, and I showed up randomly again to Wise Guys after having my first like really good show at a comedy club, and like none of them talked to me. And usually when I walked in there, it was, "Hey Joe," I got high fives and daps and hugs and all kinds of stuff. I walked in there and everybody was like in a ball, like by themselves talking and just kind of side eyeing me, and I was like, "What the fuck did I do?" Like, hi guys. Like, I was excited. I was heartbroken, boy. My little feelings was hurt.
Yeah. Fuck those guys.
So, I mean, they fuck with me now. We all good, but at that time, for like a good 3 weeks,
because you came home and your feelings was hurting. I was ready to go kick everybody in the chest.
I was like, but
y'all mad because she funnier than y'all? Fuck y'all.
I was so hurt. My feelings were so hurt, dog.
Yeah, I didn't appreciate that.
But Casper was consistent. Mario was consistent.
If he wasn't, I wouldn't have let him come to the house.
Yeah. It was a few that were consistent, but a couple of them just randomly quit fucking with me, and I didn't know why. I didn't know if that was a microaggression, if they were trying to give me. I don't know if there was a rumor or something. It just went away. I went back up there with Doc a couple weeks later, and they talked to me again, and I was like, okay, well, maybe I was overthinking it, but I didn't go back to Wise Guys for weeks for that. Y'all hurt my little feelings.
Yeah.
What about you?
I would definitely say in the workforce, just period, wherever you work. I think there's always microaggressions that go on behind closed doors, in front of your face, all of it. And in family dynamics, because the grandmas of the family be like, he got his little girlfriend, now he can't come around and come see me. You know how they go.
Or your little friend. They don't even acknowledge your fucking partner sometimes. Your little friend. Excuse me?
Yeah.
I am fucking that man, grandma. Real bad.
Sorry, mama.
We getting sorry, grandma. Playing with us. But that's also always been my mindset. I love the fact that my family always respects the person that I am with. But that's always been kind of a boundary for me. This is my partner. The only person I really just allowed them to just be like, why, was my ex-husband. And that's because I was questioning why too. I was like, well, I don't know how to undo it. Yeah. Yeah. I was like, ooh.
Yeah, y'all go ahead and talk about that nigga. It's fine.
Yeah, after a while, I got tired of defending him, and I just let it be what it was. But usually, my family's very, very supportive of my relationships because I set that tone and that boundary. This is my person. This is who's making me happy. Therefore, we family. Let's figure it out. So.
Okay, let me ask you if this is a microaggression. When you have someone. Well, you don't have to. You've never dealt with this because your family's always just been, Joe gonna do what she want to do, so we just gotta accept it and love whoever she love.
Well, they came to that conclusion around like 15, 16. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. They all, yeah, for the most part of your life. But there's a billion other people in the world who didn't have that experience. Is it a microaggression when family members or friends don't acknowledge your partner?
Yes, very much so. That's macro. That's not a
I was going to say, yeah, I would think it was bigger than that. Just trying to get a little differentiation on.
Calling my girlfriend or my boyfriend my little friend.
I wouldn't even say like little friend, just your friend, because they don't want to acknowledge who they are to you. So
yeah, just completely dismissing a part of my life is disrespectful and rude and dismissive.
See, that's what I thought. I thought it was more on the dismissive and disrespectful side versus.
No, that's still a microaggression because they're not. Them not acknowledging your partner is a microaggression to your partner. It's just disrespectful to you.
Gotcha.
But it's a microaggression to your partner. Well, I'm not that kind of partner, y'all.
Y'all don't, yeah.
You can't put me in no closet, okay?
Yeah, she not gonna be in no
the girlfriend,
closet.
that's me, thank you.
She not gonna be in no closet, y'all.
You gotta be proud of me. You're gonna be single. You gotta be real proud of me and you're gonna be single. I'm not that.
Okay. So how much responsibility should be placed on intent versus impact when discussing microaggressions?
How much responsibility? I think impact should take about 70% of that and 30% on intent. Because if you didn't intend to shoot me when you was doing your drive-by, but I caught a bullet, bitch, you feel me? Like, the impact matters a little bit more than who the fuck you meant to shoot. I don't give a shit. And I feel like it's the same way. It's just verbal. It's a verbal. You
verbal
shot
shots.
me. Yeah.
Verbal shade.
You shot me, fam.
Yeah.
Therefore, you should acknowledge the fact that you shot me and that my feelings are hurt first. You can do your intent and your explanation as to why you did what it is that you did after the fact, but acknowledge what I just said first. Ow! Okay? Bullet wound, okay?
I'm bleeding.
Exactly. You don't get to put your finger in it and be like, you all right, because I didn't mean to shoot you. Fuck all that. Absolutely not. Oh, shit. Yeah, no, I think 70% of that is impact. For me when it comes to microaggressions. So I'm gonna correct you every time. Yeah.
I
What about you? What percentages you needed to break it down?
I would say I would go higher on the percentage on impact.
Okay.
I would probably say like 85-15. I don't necessarily care too much about what you intended to do.
I agree.
If you were offensive or you dismiss me, that's more impactful on me than your intent.
I agree. I think I gave it 30 just because for the people who really don't know, like it was a subconscious thing, which could be, I figured 10 to 12%.
But that's why we're talking about it today, so you can stop that shit. That's why we're talking about it today. I'm sure most of our listeners work in a corporate setting, and 90% of them have been in a DEI training about microaggressions. I didn't know shit about microaggressions till we had a training at my corporate job. Well, not corporate, but my job. So I'm sure a lot of people know what they are now, and if you still doing them, fuck you.
Yeah, I don't think we called them microaggressions.
Shade.
I think we just, called it shady or racist growing up in Texas.
That too.
And I honestly feel like microaggressions was created to make white people feel a little bit better about the word so that they weren't being called racist every time they said some shit that was off center, right? So I feel like we started creating these words to like put a name to something so that it's not all under the same category, because microaggressions used to be considered subtle racism. So I grew up thinking that if you said, "Oh, she's pretty for a black girl," you think black people are ugly, is what you just said to me. That's what you just told me. You think most black people are ugly and I'm the exception, and fuck you. It's kind of how I felt growing up. And it was just categorized as that subtle racism. And it slowly but surely, they put a different name to it of microaggression.
Well, I think under the umbrella of microaggressions, like we were saying earlier, some other things can be added. So not just racial. You know, your little business, the other stuff that we talked about earlier. So
But I feel like it all used to be under something else, like racism, sexism, right? Things like that, where it was like, if you discriminated against me as a woman, that's sexist.
Yeah.
Right? No matter what it is, even if it was just a microaggression, like, oh, I don't think women should blah, 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 that's sexist. And that's where we were going with it. And microaggression kind of took those labels away from people to where now you can just say, well, that was a microaggression, and they feel less attacked. And I was cool with the regular titles because that was racist and sexist, and I'm calling HR. Oh, I'm HR. Hold on. Approved. Get the fuck out my office.
Yo, I cannot see you as an HR manager. I
was actually everybody's favorite HR manager. They fucking loved me as HR, especially when I worked at the call centers.
Oh my God.
All them kids loved me. Well, we were the same age, but still, all of them fucking loved me. People that were like 18, I'd say like 17, because we could do 16 to like 25. Like 16 to 25, they fucking loved me as HR, right? Because they'd come in here and they said,
Auntie Joe.
Joe. Miss Joe. Okay, so tell me if I'm wrong.
Not
and I'd be
Miss
like,
Joe.
yes. Yeah, Miss Joe. And I'd be like, yeah.
You wrong.
Tell me if I'm wrong. Yeah. As I'm right, before you even tell me what happened. Yeah, you wrong. But go ahead. Continue. So we had a good old time when I was in HR.
All right, so I'm gonna ask you a couple of things, and you tell me if it's a microaggression or not.
Okay.
Or a form. Like when we say certain white people are invited to the cookout, is that a microaggression? Can that be viewed as one?
Ooh, I think we would have to ask white people, because I think most white people want to be invited to the cookout. So I don't think they see it as a microaggression. I think they see it as progression. So I don't think so. I don't think he's invited to the cookout is a microaggression. I think it's an affirmation, because all of them want to be. They want to be invited to the cookout. They want to see what's going on and be included.
Okay, so in that same token, I don't see color when white people say that.
That's just stupid.
Is that a microaggression?
Yeah.
Y'all can chime in too on this. I want to hear everybody's opinion on this.
Yes, only because that's not phenomenological. That's not factual. You have to see color. Because if you're talking to me right now and you say you don't see color, but then I punch you in the face when the police show up and you have to describe me, bitch, what color was I? I bet you know. You saw my color, did you not? Like I feel like that's just a stupid statement. I don't see color. Color does not influence the way that I treat people. That's a different statement. That's a completely different statement than I don't see color. Because yes, the fuck you do. If you take off running down the street right now, I'm going to be like, what the fuck that white boy going? I see. I see that you don't look like me. That's crazy.
So you say it's a microaggression?
I do say I don't see color as a microaggression, no matter who said it.
But anytime anytime anybody ever says it, they're trying to say, I don't see.
Then they should say that. I don't treat people differently because of their color is a different statement than I don't see color. One of those statements is a fucking lie.
Because I want you to see my color, first of all.
One of those statements is a lie. And it's also very dismissive of people who are proud of their color and heritage. So, no, there was no reason to say that. There is never a reason to say I don't see color unless you're colorblind. It's the only time that's appropriate.
What about, the weatherman that dances?
Mm-hmm.
What about if someone said, oh man, that white boy can dance?
He is white.
What I'm saying, is that a microaggression?
I feel like that's a factual statement. He is white and he can dance. I don't feel like saying white was necessary.
So,
but
under the umbrella that we were saying earlier, the white part,
I guess it could be,
is unnecessary.
It could be, because you could have just said, "Oh, damn, that man can dance," instead of saying that white. So yeah, white makes it a microaggression.
Okay. He can dance though.
Yeah, he can dance.
Can I say that motherfucker can dance?
Yeah,
that's not a microaggression? Okay, yeah, he can dance though. B said they have limited vocabulary because they are unable to articulate what they are trying to say politically correct.
Mm-hmm. That sounds like they should read more. That's not my fault.
Yeah.
Now I ain't no Cat Williams. I bet you ain't reading 3,000 books a year.
Y'all, for real though, 3,000
books. My vernacular, my vocabulary is pretty expansive. Therefore, if I am younger than you, or even if I'm older than you, there's no reason for you to say, "Oh, I'm not that smart," or "I don't know how to articulate it." Read a book.
Rabdar Gab.
There are ways, right? There are ways for you to expand your vocabulary.
Oh, B said they came out with the no, it's not a microaggression because they came out with the movie called White Man Can't Jump.
That's one way to view it.
Would we be offended if they came out with a movie that said Black Man Can Jump?
No, I definitely thought you were going with Black Men Can't Swim.
Okay,
I definitely thought you was going with that.
Would that be a microaggression? Black Man Can't Swim?
This shit better be a comedy. That's what I know. I know the movie better be a comedy, and that nigga better win a swimming competition in the movie. But no,
it's not.
Nah,
because it's factual. But it's a lot of black men that can swim.
It's a lot more that can't.
Black men, y'all gotta tap in. Y'all gotta tap in and tell us if y'all can swim or not.
Black men, tap in. A lot more that can't. If it is a phenomenological fact, I don't feel like that's a microaggression.
B, everyone is so sensitive. We're gonna talk about that in a second too. Is there a line between microaggressions and freedom of speech? How do we navigate that line?
Well, we're not saying that you can't use microaggressions. We're simply telling you what they are. So if your freedom of speech isn't hindered, just understand how you will be received if you
might get punched in the mouth.
Yeah, if you use microaggressions. So we're not telling you can't say it. Just like with the N-word. When I was telling people, I was like, I'm not saying you can't say the N-word. Say it as you please. Just know that the results may vary. Be ready to receive whatever it is that you receive by using that word freely. Just out here using it, because it is seen as a hate speech if you use it derogatorily. So okay, go ahead, use your language the way that you want to doggone use it, but understand that if somebody goes upside your motherfucking head, that you asked for that. You asked for that, now go on about it. A comedian was telling a joke the other day, and he was like, I totally agree that using the N word, that the N word holds power. The N word is a very powerful word, and that's why we shouldn't use it. He said, I actually got jumped by a black man the other day. He said, and the more I use the N word, the stronger he got. It's powerful. He was like, it is powerful. It's a powerful word. And I cackled in the back. I cackled in the back because that's very much so true. You get curb stomped out here because you're using a word that isn't for you or your community, then but you chose to do it. So ain't nobody taking away your freedom of speech. You just understand.
Buyer beware. Yeah. Freedom of swing. I like that. I would totally agree. I don't think there's a line. We not trying to tell you what not to say or what to say. But just understand, if we correct you and you decide to still be offensive and microaggress me, did I just make up a word?
You did. You did. We was
I think I'm gonna keep it.
Microaggress me. Okay. I just told y'all to expand y'all vocabulary. Look here.
Look. If you decide to continue to microaggress me, you might get Spartan kicked in the chest.
And that's it.
So just understand, there's no line. You can do what you want. We're not telling you what not to do.
You just
and
might
what
be
to
picking
do.
up your teeth like loose change.
Chiclets.
That's it. That's all. You might be 16 teeth shy of the 32 you're supposed to have in that motherfucker.
And you already missing a side tooth.
Right. 17 teeth shy of the 32 you're supposed to have.
Oh, Lord. Okay.
No more steak for you. No steak, no apples.
Oh, my Lord. Okay. Is there a risk of oversensitivity when addressing microaggressions? And how can society strike a balance between awareness and unnecessary conflict? Keely, you feel me with the microaggress? So we gonna make this a thing, y'all. We gonna make it a thing.
We gonna make it a word. We can make a trend. We'll figure it out. It'll be a word. They add new words to the dictionary every year.
Microaggress me, my nigga.
A risk of oversensitivity when addressing microaggressions. I don't really care about how sensitive they are. If you hurt my feelings, you don't then get to tell me how to correct you. Is how I feel.
I guess the sensitivity is on the person that feels microaggressed. It works.
You can't tell nobody how to feel. You can't tell anybody how to feel. Your feelings are always valid. No matter what they are, your feelings are always valid. After that, it is just my job to acknowledge your feelings and then determine whether or not I can be in your space or if I can respect that boundary. That's it. That's my job as the person who offended you, to acknowledge your feeling and then determine whether or not I can respect that boundary and stay in your energy or in your space. And if I can't, I'll still acknowledge your feelings, and then I just know I don't want to talk to you no more. Yeah. If I think you're too sensitive or I have to walk on eggshells when I'm talking to you, I just won't talk to you. I'm good on that. But I would never just, your feelings, you just too sensitive. That's crazy to me. That's some shit that I say if I don't understand your feelings. That shit crazy to me, or that's wild. And then I move the fuck on. Yeah, I'm done talking about it. It's cool. And then I'll either break it down in my head and determine whether or not I can continue having this relationship or this conversation with you or friendship or whatever it is, or, oh, I didn't mean it that way. I apologize. I didn't mean to hurt your feelings, friend. Was that a trigger? Is there a backstory to that? I'm trying to figure out what the fuck your brain is to where that offended you, if I care about you. And then as we break it down, cool. I understand now.
Yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna ever just shit on your feelings. That's rude. You shouldn't feel that way. Okay, you can't be my friend.
Yeah, straight up. You're not gonna dismiss me like that. You ain't just gonna
tell me that I can't feel my feelings. That's crazy.
Yeah, you're not just gonna dismiss me like that. Yeah. B, we need you on every week. Did you hear this nigga? Depending on how you say microaggress me, it can be sexy or offensive.
Tis true. That's some nigga shit.
Yeah, you are a nigga.
He said Joe woke up today and chose violence. I'm just saying, this is me.
Jazzy, you a sensitive gangster.
You are a sensitive gangster.
The way you be reading people, I don't know how you are sensitive.
It's funny though, because Jazz will read the fuck out of you and then cry.
Yes.
Read the shit out of you and then cry. I'm confused. What just happened? You won the argument. Why did you cry?
If my sister's listening, it's like my sister too. Like my sister will cuss you out while crying. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, and be upset that she got to cuss you out.
That's my Libra rising, because I'm the same way. If I'm just really, and my eyes will get red, I get to getting teary eyed or whatnot. But that's also because I'm trying not to swing on you.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not the same. That's not the same.
And if I was crying because I'm mad, it's the same. That's the Libra rising. But the Leo, everything else is trying not to fucking swing on you.
That used to be me. Like if I would get so upset that I'm crying, that means I don't want to kill anybody. So I just wouldn't talk.
I'm trying not to. Yeah.
I just wouldn't talk.
Shut down and trying not to hit nothing else. Because I be done told through 3-4 of these doggone pillars in this wall. Don't look.
Thank God for being evolved.
Yes.
And worked on and healed.
But 21 to 26-year-old me, well, actually, but 16 to 26-year-old me, that was some dangerous times for people, man. It was some dangerous times for people. I was ready to meet everybody.
Through the shadow of death.
Baby, everybody in a Target parking lot across the street from my high school. I fought so many people. I didn't even realize.
The Target? What? Y'all was making the Target ghetto?
Mm-hmm. It was already ghetto. Was
that a microaggression? Did I just microaggress you? I'm going to make this shit work, y'all. Fuck that.
But I did. This Target in particular was right next to a 99-cent store. So it was in the hoodie kind of part of the place anyway. But y'all, that's probably why they don't put Targets there no more. Because baby, I was knocking heads between people's cars. I remember we broke somebody's window once.
With somebody's head?
It was her shoulder, but yeah. When
that's
she
so
went to
violent.
fall, bitch should have left me alone.
Leave me alone.
I was trying to walk home.
That's all you was doing.
That's it. I was trying to walk home. I knew she didn't like me, but when she got to calling all them names, they threw like a little pebble. She was with like 2 of her friends, and I think that's why she got so puffed up in her chest, because she usually ain't do no shit like that. She would talk shit, but she never throw nothing at me.
They was for real aggressing you.
She picked it. Yeah, she was aggressive. Picked up the little pebbles, and I felt one on my backpack, and then I felt one on the back of my neck, and I turned around and I saw it was her and her friends over there giggling.
You had a reason.
Took my backpack off.
You had a reason.
She took my earrings off and just took off. I was high me in it too.
You was justified.
Ran across that street and ran straight in her motherfucking jaw. You got the right one today, shorty. You gonna get what you're asking for.
I think I know the answer to this next question, but I'm gonna ask it anyway because it's probably gonna be a funny answer. Should there be consequences for individuals who consistently engage in microaggressive behavior, even if it's unintentional?
I think the consequences should be that we stop fucking with them, because usually when they're doing those microaggressions, it's because they're trying to feel bigger than the other person or downgrade the other person. But if the other person moves on and everybody follows that person, I think people would just start catching on that, oh, when I try to shit on people like that, people don't fuck with me. I think the answer is cutting them off. No,
well, what if it's like a work environment?
There's still a way for you to do that and ice them out.
HR.
You talk to them only when you have to. When they come in, hi, like I got this and da-da-da. No, thank you. And just everybody be real fucking dry, because that bitch don't fuck with us like that, so we don't fuck with her. I think group mentality works. I think it works. And some people might feel like, oh, everybody in the office doesn't like me, and they quit. Or everybody in the office doesn't like me, and they start trying to change.
Okay, so the consequence you're saying is just stop
fucking with that person. Stop talking to them. Don't tell them nothing else. They'll still try to insert themselves in conversations as though y'all are their friends, but be very clear that y'all ain't fucking with them. And I don't know what it is about me, but I have a personality that almost requires loyalty. So I'm not a mean girl, but I know that the people that matter will follow me. So if I start cutting somebody up, like I don't want to interact with them, even if you don't mean to be mean to them, you'll slowly but surely start finding yourself kind of turning to like not wanting to interact with them because you know that I don't fuck with them. And I don't even have to tell you. I don't have to say, hey, don't do that. I don't have to say, don't fuck with them. I'll just tell you, I don't fuck. My daddy was calling me. I'll just say, I don't fuck with that person. And the people who matter usually follow me. I've done it in offices too. In an office setting. I wasn't the HR manager at that time.
You a leader of the people.
But yeah, I was like, oh no, there's a real easy way to stop that. I just won't interact with that person. And anybody who wants to interact with me usually will stop interacting with that person too until that person gets their act together, and then they'll come in randomly and try to do something real nice for me or say something real nice to me. I'm just gonna try and... I did it to a boss. She quit though.
God, dog.
She quit. She told our supervisor that she couldn't deal with me. I didn't do nothing to her. She just said that she didn't say that I was microaggressive. What did she say that I was? She said, I already had my claws, is what she said. I already had my claws in the rest of the staff. And
that sounds like a microaggression right there.
And when she was brought in as the manager, everybody already saw me as the manager. So they were listening to me over her telling them what to do.
What's that got to do with you?
And have shit to do with me. But also, if you are supposed to be the manager, bitch, manage. Why are they still coming to me is the thing, right? So... Anywho, she ended up quitting. She was like, I can't take it. And I was like, oh, well. Have a nice life.
All right. So the last one we got here is, can microaggressions be unintentional, or do they always reflect underlying biases?
I think they do always reflect underlying biases, but I think that some people may not know that it's offensive. I think especially if you grew up in a super sarcastic family, or if your family has always spoken to you that way and it's just a part of your dialogue now, I think that it's something that you have to unlearn. Mm-hmm. So I do think that there are people that have to unlearn it, but they know what they're doing because they're able to recognize that they don't like it when their family did it to them. They're able to recognize that they don't tell their family stuff or successful stuff because they already know what's going to be shit on. So you turning around and doing it to me, you're very aware that doesn't feel good. You just don't know how to do it any other way.
That's the way you've been programmed.
Right. So I think it's just, I think that it is always bias there or some type of insecurity there that makes you feel the need to do that.
I would totally agree with what you said as far as it's always an underlying bias. Because where did you...
Because why? Why did you need to do that?
Yeah, well, where did you get for a black girl from? Mm-hmm. Like subconsciously, you have a bias and it comes from somewhere. All program behavior is taught. And that's the way I look at it. So kids aren't raised and grow up to be hateful people just out of nowhere. It just doesn't poof, wake up and be hateful. No, they are taught that. So they were,
I told you about all the kids running up and telling me that the boy said the N-word the other day at the park. And I was looking at them like, so?
They niggas.
when you, thank you? Like, what did you want me to do? But I was still proud of the way that they responded because before I allowed them to start utilizing the word, I made sure they knew what it meant, where it came from, why we say it, and how to recognize if it was said derogatorily.
I did have one more question. Can you microaggress yourself?
Yes.
How?
Your internal dialogue when you're trying to be confident. I'm on the radio, Daddy.
I think you can.
Yeah, I think in your internal dialogue, because I told you I've been waking up here lately and just telling myself how pretty I am, telling myself how smart I am, how talented I am, everything that I want, I deserve, all kind of stuff like that. But my dialogue wasn't always like that. especially when I was dating that narcissist. I had to, I was looking at myself with some questions. So there were some times where I would do something that I was proud of and I would kind of shit at myself like, okay, it wasn't that big of a goddamn deal, girl. Ooh, you hyping it. You hyping yourself kind of thing.
But I've even like saw you, like you'll talk about certain performances or certain things that you've accomplished. And when you're speaking, you speak very quickly. And I think sometimes it's like a blip in your head. You'll kind of like downplay something real quick and then fix it quickly. Like, well, it wasn't that little. Because when we first got together, I was amazed at all of the different things that you did. And you just kind of was like, and I was like, girl, you spoke in front of Congress.
Tis true.
And so,
and the Senate.
Yes.
Now I'm confident in those things at the time.
Help write laws and shit. So, I think you can microaggress yourself. We are making that a thing, y'all.
You can microaggress yourself. Thank you guys for tuning in this week to Laugh Therapy. We hope you guys enjoyed the conversation and the banter. Y'all know I ain't got no sense. I don't know what to... I'm going to always tell y'all the truth. And there's always a funny story that goes with almost any subject that we bring up here. So I hope you guys had a great time. Tune in with us again or join us again next week. Same time, 4 p.m. Our time, 6 p.m. y'all's and 7 at some of y'all's. We look forward to talking to you guys next week. See y'all then.
See y'all.
Bye.